All right, and our next speaker is going to be via Zoom. And let me pull this down here. All right, there, wonderful. Okay, so let me introduce Mr. Albert Sweets from Morgan State University, and he is going to talk about historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, as part of your career pathway. So, welcome, Mr. Sweets. Thank you.
Thank you for the introduction. Can you guys hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Again, my name is Albert Sweets. I'm from representing Morgan State University, and I'm going to share with you guys how an HBCU is basically critical to the pathways of success. Little background about me. I'm from Baltimore City. Um, I went to Baltimore Polytechnic Institute, which is a high school in Baltimore City, and my interests were chemistry, but I knew at an early age I wanted to be an engineer. Um, uh, this one of the bullets says we had to talk about our first job. I've never had a job in my life. I've had opportunities and experiences. So when I was in high school, I very much just was a student, and then I joined the Navy. Then after the Navy, I went on to Morgan State University, where I majored in electrical engineering. Um, uh, there were no real barriers because I've always had a can-do attitude. Then I participated in extracurricular activities, fraternities, National Society of Black Engineers, IEEE, Naval Reserves. My early career, my first job after college was with IBM. Once in the corporate world, I realized that it was not for me. I wanted bigger and better things, so I became an entrepreneur and consultant, which led me to education. And currently my role at Morgan State University is a program manager and engineer, where I involved in the business side of things as well as the technical side. Morgan State University and my own business is where I'm employed. The problems I solve process improvement. That process improvement could be things dealing with people, finance, technical, non-technical, and delivering win-win solutions. Hobbies and interests, family, fraternity, equity, and injustices in the areas of education, poverty, diversity, and economic and youth and environments. This is a simple chart, a simple pathway of what I just explained. However, I want to really focus in on what role did the HBCU play in my success and in my career. What the other speakers did, they talked about networking and they talked about mentors. HBCUs is a unique experience in life. Is like no other. I believe an experience at an HBCU allows you as an individual to grow mentally, socially, physically, as well as academically. And again, as the speaker just before me talked about, know your value and self-wealth. That's what an HBCU does. It's even if you as a high school student just step on the college of an HBCU, it's like home. It's like family. It's like no other. And you talk about those obstacles of being on majority institutions. Everybody at an HBCU is family. They may not be your blood family, but they are definitely family. I mean, from the president on down to the janitor, everyone is there for your success. And I don't think you will experience that at any other college. And I believe if you ever talk to any HBCU grad, they will say the same thing. And as an undergrad, I've had the luxury of touring and visiting probably over 80 of the 100 and plus campuses, and it's a unique experience. But also, they instilled in me the principles of accepting any challenge head on, and with the understanding that you can always succeed. And by doing that, that allowed me to have a successful career at IBM. And then as an entrepreneur, there's a couple key things that I really want you guys to take away from this. One, always have a can-do attitude, and that's what an HBCU does to you. We talked about, the gentleman from me talked about networking. HBCU is a great network, but let me complement that in saying the network is great, but now you need to realize how to work the net. And that is creating win-win solutions for all stakeholders within your network, whether they're mentors, whether they're proteges, whether they're your faculty members, whether they're your employees. Find that win-win and what is your value proposition for you. That's how the network works. I believe once you come from an HBCU, you can reach out to anybody else because that's a pivotal point that you have in common. And people know the experience of an HBCU. I really would like questions from the audience because I can entertain those questions. But that was a highlight of my career and an experience that I've shared with people for over 30 years. You know, we get together at homecoming, and I think a homecoming at an HBCU is totally different than the others. Now, don't get me wrong, the academics is just as hard as well, because no matter how you look at it, calculus is calculus, physics is physics. It's just that we just had fun at physics as opposed to other institutions. Finally, this is the key takeaways, but I really want questions from you guys. Benefits, great education, extended family, lifelong friendships, knowledge of self, mentors, expanded network, best experience ever in life. So I believe some of these were highlighted by the previous speakers, but I really would like to entertain questions about life at an HBCU from any members of the audience. Are there any questions?
Any questions? Anyone? Are you sure? Yes, Rhonda. Dr. Franklin.
My mother still says you ask too many questions. Hey Al, can you hear me?
Yes, Dr. Franklin, how are you?
I'm pretty good. So my question is, while you talked about how wonderful the experience is at HBCUs, how do can you comment about how students work with and across with other institutions? And you know, this conference is about the brain and neuroscience. Can you talk a little bit about maybe some of the activities at Morgan that have to do
Oh,
with
yes.
neuroscience
Yes,
and how they would interact with
the
the
thing
brain?
about Morgan, we do have collaborative efforts. And this is the one thing about it, whether you're an engineer, whether you are a chemist, or whether you're into brain science, at the end of the day, it's a team. And we do have cross collaborations with other departments as well as other institutions. For instance, we are working our relations with the University of Minnesota, where we're going to be doing joint activities and experiences for students, faculty exchange, as well as research. And as a future undergraduate student, one of the key things is research is the key to allow you to find out what your strengths are. And sometimes find out what your strengths are, you can also find out what you don't want to do. So we do collaborate with other universities, other HBCUs, majority institutions, MSIs as well. And that's depending on the technology or the area of research that are interested in. We do exchange programs as well. We have study abroad programs. We have exchange between institutions where it could be joint projects. We can go there for University of Minnesota in our ongoing efforts. They go up to the University of Minnesota for a semester. University of Minnesota students can come down to Morgan for a semester. And that allows you to expand your tool belt and have a plethora of experiences to make you a better neuroscientist, engineer, systems integrator, whatever that particular fashion that you choose to do.
Is
I
there,
think it may be a delay.
can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I didn't hear anything.
Okay, so my question is there any opportunities for a neuroscience route for grad school that HBCUs provide?
The answer to that is yes, they are. And the reason why I say that is through our affiliations is one route. And there's also ways that you can get a dual degree between us and another institution, depending on if the administrative work that out. We also will be having, believe it or not, in the next 4 years, Morgan State will have a medical school here on campus, and is partnered with the state and the local institutions here. And that will be bringing interdisciplinary individuals to partner together. So that's in the, I haven't seen all the baked out paperwork on that, but we will be having medical here. And we do work with, in the biomedical space, especially with our electrical engineers.
Any other questions? All right, let's give Mr. Sweets a round of applause.
I have to say one other thing because I'm a proud alumni of an HBCU. I love my school. I don't know if most people can tell you that, but I love Morgan State University. And I think if you guys ever get a chance to experience, go to any HBCU campus, set up a tour. As a matter of fact, if you guys want to come to Morgan State University, you guys can obtain my information and we can work that out. But I think it's the best life-changing experience ever. Lastly, I have to leave you with this one quote. And this is something that we adopted here at Morgan State University, definitely School of Engineering. An engineer can be anything, but anything can't be an engineer. And engineers change lives. And that's one of the things that HBCU experience does for me and many others. And I think it promotes positivity. And if nothing else, even from this conference, I would always challenge you guys to look at life and all your experiences as the glass is being half full, because the term empty has a negative connotation, but positivity means it's half full, and positivity always rises. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sweets. We appreciate you.